Hello, everybody. This has been yet another wonderful Christmas, and I thought that no better way to end off the night than with another YouTube video. I uploaded one earlier today in the making of this, the Iron Book. For the record, these are custom Lego pieces, so they're not gonna be like your average grade Lego piece like these. They're gonna be a bit more plastic, they're gonna be shinier, they're gonna be a bit more smooth. So, I figured since we have this, and I need to open it up slowly because this entire thing is like right about to crack. Since we have this wonderful display of Iron Man suits all lined up for us to inspect, I figured, hey, maybe it'd be a good idea if I decided to choose the best and the worst Iron Man suit from this box. Please keep in mind, this is just my opinion. If you have something or one of these specific Iron Man suits that you think is cool, hey, go ahead. I don't mind. Everybody has their own opinion, as long as you accept that mine is the superior one. With that said, let's get started. So, up here at the top, we have the Mark 1. Honestly, so I'm gonna take him out here. I think this guy is shockingly alright. I'm not really a fan of what's under the mask, and I also don't like this nearly as much as Lego's interpretation. The extra printing is a very nice touch, and I think that it is a truly awesome minifigure, but it is far from the ugliest or the best Iron Man suit. It's a perfectly middle-of-the-way Iron Man suit. Next up on the list, we have the Mark II. Now, the Mark II is a very interesting one, and honestly, I kind of dig how they made these custom suits. For the record, they actually don't, and I'm going to try to open this up with one hand. They don't actually open up the Iron Man visors like you would think, like they do with the other Legos version. So what actually goes on is the bottom here is completely sealed off. So this whole thing here is all one piece, and the visor is just slightly smaller to make room for it. With that said, I think the Mark II is shockingly pretty decent. For the first Mark II minifigure that I have, albeit a custom market, like fake one, it's not too bad. My only complaint is that the mask is a little stiff when it comes to moving it, but other than that, not too bad. So we will skip ahead past a couple of these from the Mark III all the way up to the Mark X because, I mean, if you look at them, they're all pretty much the same, save for the Mark V. So we'll go with the Mark III. The Mark III is alright. I definitely prefer Lego's version a lot better, and I do have it in display, but this one is not looking too good. Mark IV, just a slightly better version of the Mark III. I like the extra printing, the silver's cool. Overall, not too bad. Mark V. Dude, those arms and everything else that goes with it, oh my good heavens. This is a good minifigure right here. I also like the additional printing on the mask. It's pretty cool. The Mark VI. I actually had a Mark VI in the past before I lost it. I was a little younger at the time, wasn't too experienced in collecting Iron Man minifigures, and I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of sad, even now looking back on it and realizing, man, what a great minifigure that was. Came out a long time ago. But this Mark VI is still just as cool, and let me tell you, I think this might actually be one of my favorites. What I love the most about the Mark VI, compared to all of the other Iron Man suits, is that this one has a triangular arc reactor. And as far as these arc reactors go, I think that triangles don't come back until much later in the series, and even then they're more heart-shaped than anything. Overall, not too bad. That's the Mark VI. Immediately following that, from the Avengers, we have Mark VII. The Mark VII is actually pretty decent. It's got a good amount of printing, the legs are awesome, everything looks really well done. By the way, I'm not taking these out because it's a pain to have to put them back in. Like, if you look over here, Mark I and Mark II need to be carefully taken out without, popping this out because it's whatever. Yeah, it's a bit annoying. On to the Mark VIII, Mark IX, and Mark X. These are all shockingly decent. But if I had to pick my favorite, I'd probably go with the Mark IX. The Mark IX feels like a nice, middle-of-the-road Iron Man suit. It's got some extra protection, the printing is beautiful on the chest, legs, and arms, the Mark 8 feels too scaly. It doesn't look like it has enough gear as is, and the Mark 10, I don't know why, but the Mark 10 just looks smaller than the other Iron Man suits. Immediately following that, we have the Mark 11. Mark 11 seems like a good mixture of 8 through 10. It draws a lot of the I can't talk today. It takes a lot of the inspiration and a good amount of pieces from each of the following, acting as sort of a descendant and superior model compared to the originals. Not too bad. As far as the most perfect goes, I don't think any of these suits afterwards will be following it. The one exception being Python. I like the printing on this one, and I think it does what the Mark 10 never could as far as small printing goes. If you must know, this suit is meant for more agility than anything else, and I think the more lightweight plating actually goes really well with it. After that, I don't remember the name of that Iron Man suit. I do remember Midas, meant for high altitude travel. And here I think we have one of the, if not the, top contender for the most perfect Iron Man suit here. The Mark 23, I believe it is. Yes, this Iron Man suit was actually meant as sort of a War Machine demo for Tony's friend Rhodey, but it never actually got out into War Machine. It always just stayed here with its hot rod flames. But I do really love this Iron Man suit, and I think it is incredible. Aside from only a couple of others on the shelves, I think this one is actually the winner. The only one that would come anywhere close to it would likely be just one below it, the Silver Centurion. I'd give this one extra points, but there's a problem. It doesn't have the chest plate with it that you would get in the polybag. And again, I understand that these are custom Iron Man suits, but what I would have loved to see is maybe just a little extra armor. It never kills to print some custom chest plates or make some cool new armor, and I know I've seen people do it in the past. So, if the Hot Rod is the most perfect Iron Man suit in the box, then, well, surely there has to be an ugliest, right? Yeah. And I don't think you're going to like where this is going. The ugliest suit goes to the Mark 40. Now, you might be wondering, why? Why? Out of all of the other Iron Man suits, this one is sure to stand out. It's light blue, it's got some nice, cool gray printing, and I think it's okay. The only reason why it's not, well, look at that black mask on the helmet. I don't know why, but there's something about this that is extremely off-putting to me. In addition to that, I mean, this isn't the only one that does it, but I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me, and I feel really bad because I love the light blue. I think it's a cool look for Iron Man. So, I'm afraid that with a heavy heart, I'm going to have to give the worst, the ugliest Iron Man suit award to the Mark 38. You already had a big figure of this. What gave you the ever possible idea to shrink it down to such a small format? This doesn't even look like he has a chest plate. This looks like he's wearing some kind of blue sports bra with an amulet and some, I guess, like faded cargo pants or something. This, it just doesn't look good. And I feel bad because, again, the blue looks so good on the Iron Man suits. Yeah, we only have like 1, 2, 3. We only have a few others that actually rock the blue. And this makes me feel really bad that I have to say this about it. But the fact that it just looks so much better as a big figure as a whole, it feels unnecessary, to say the least. And that sucks, but I'm afraid that's how it's going to have to go. Sorry, buddy. You were good while you lasted. A couple of honorable mentions before we end off the video. Red Snapper. Red Snapper is actually pretty decent. I like the custom legs and arms, and I think it's pretty cool overall. Right next to it is its bro with only one robot arm, but still, the black printing is absolutely incredible. Up here, we have this brown Iron Man suit, and I really love this one. I love the brown, the silvers as well. The mask is printed beautifully, and I think it's pretty cool. The only reason it didn't make it past Hot Rod over here is because I don't really have a preference towards brown. and it kind of just looks like Iron Man splashed mud all over his suit. The Mark 30 and the Mark 33, respectively. Both of these Iron Man suits look really good together. And I'll be honest with you, I think they do. I think they do go well. Both of these Iron Man suits were programmed to transfer energy from one thing to the other. So, let's say that the Mark 33 needs a really powerful arc reactor blast. Let's say almost, but not quite as strong as our buddy Heartbreaker over there. Well, you can transfer all energy out of your jet boots and repulsors right into your arc reactor for an even stronger blast. A bit inefficient, but I can see why it would be practical at the time. So, there's a couple of those, and the last suit that I'm going to give to the honorable mention is actually a very, very strange one, and that's the Iron Legion suit. Bear in mind, this isn't really a suit, if you can call it that. It's more or less a program in an Iron Man shell. With that said, that is not going to stop me from looking at this thing. The printing is absolutely beautiful on this custom suit. Honestly, I admire how much detail goes into these custom prints, and they just look really good. LEGO, listen, I understand that you guys are running on a small budget, and yeah, that gets in the way at times. You also have to deal with the fact that it's your way or the highway when it comes to printing, and believe me, I know the fans don't like that. But please, is it too much to ask for more arm printing? It feels like you don't do it enough at times. Anyways, that's all for today. I hope that you all had a very Merry Christmas. I know I did. And you see what I mean? Like, this is... Okay, forget it. Forget it. I'll put them back later. Well, there you have it. The Iron Book. The ugliest and the coolest Iron Man suits in the box. Just a word of advice. This will take you quite a little bit to build, and every single time you try it, this box is going to want to crack. See ya.